I was just preaching, sir.
You were preaching?
Yeah.
Okay. Where were you?
Standing right there.
We're preaching along this
Yes.
sidewalk.
Okay.
This is city sidewalk.
Do we need to be over closer to the sidewalk? Is that what we need to do? Well, I'll tell you what, this is a real touchy subject. I mean, you can record me if you want.
I'm just making sure we're all above board here. I'm holding myself accountable. No, you're not. No, you're not, sir. Please don't misunderstand. I'm just trying to make sure we're all above board.
If you want to come on campus and preach, we have a system set up to where if you go to the Dean of Students office, you can get a solicitation form through them, and they allow you to come over here and with that form, and you can come over here and preach, and it's totally fine. Okay.
Well, I guess the question I would have is, like, this week is Congress Week and Constitution Day, and there's some things happening. I think there's a speaker tomorrow from Florida where things are opened up to the general public. I don't live around here, so I just felt it was needful to come here and, you know, if we're talking about the Constitution, let's talk about some of the problems in our country. And you know,
no matter what you're talking about.
No, I understand,
that's I know it's very important to you, but that's kind of irrelevant no matter what you're talking about.
Not if we're on public property that's open to the general public. Is it not true?
And that's the question. Are you on public property?
Well, isn't this library open to the general public?
The library is open to the general public. It is not, but it's not open to solicitors.
We're not soliciting.
I know. Right when I walk up, you're sitting on the steps.
No, we're not soliciting. Soliciting, selling something. We're just exercising speech, you know, and just talking about things we deem important. That's not solicitation. Well, can I just ask a question?
We're going to solve that.
We're not going to fight with you. Got to be disrespectful. I appreciate your service, but I'm just curious. Are we on public property or not? Would be the question. My understanding, and you can correct me. Well, it's a public university that tax dollars pay for. Well, no, I mean, this is the general public.
Well, everyone is allowed on it, even though it's public university.
Am I allowed to go in the library as a member of the general public? Well, there's a general public computer lab right there in the door.
But it closes to the general public late at night.
Well, it's not closed now, so it's really a moot point.
I'm not saying you can't sit on these steps and you can't go use the computer. Don't get me wrong.
No, you're right, but I can stand here and share the gospel.
Listen to what I'm saying. You can come on the university, you can share the gospel. We have a form that you need to fill out first, okay? And it's real simple. We don't discriminate against anyone coming up here and saying what they want to say. What we want you to do is go through these steps so we know who you are, and I think you have to get a student group to sponsor you or something.
Yeah, and that's I mean, I don't live here, so you're saying if I'm just passing through Knoxville on my way to Nashville and I wanted to go through a walk and I got in a conversation with somebody, and I just mentioned...
Salvatore, do me a favor, don't hand anything out right now, okay?
Well, you can't restrict that, sir.
I said do me a favor. I'm asking.
But we don't have to. I mean,
did you not hear me?
I understand, but just know that that's protected by the Supreme Court of the United States. And I'll go to jail for handing out a tract.
Well, I'm asking you to do this. Wait a minute. Can I ask you to wait a little bit? My supervisor's on the way, and we're going to try to figure this out so there's no more confusion. Okay?
But understand that the law is not confusing, sir.
My supervisor's coming.
You can't, I mean...
She's speaking for...
We appreciate you guys. Seriously, we don't want you to...
No, but sir, no, I'm going to keep handing out tracts. I mean, these people need to hear about Christ, and that's protected by the Supreme Court. So,
and we want you to have the opportunity
and
to do that.
If you allow me to just respectfully exercise civil disobedience in that matter.
If you disagree, that's fine.
I don't want to break the law. If you can establish that I'm breaking the law, I will submit to your authority and I will stop. But I don't believe we're breaking the law by handing out tracts.
And I understand that. And we could disagree on it.
Right. I'm not here to, argue with you.
What I want to say, okay, here's the line. Here's the line that you can't come over and you can't preach right here, but you could preach right here. You see what I'm saying? Sure. And my supervisor's coming here on her way to do that right now. So
very patient.
Sure. That's not her.
We're all above board here. I'm not trying to start any trouble.
I'm not playing the game.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Do you understand what I said about...
No, I understand, sir. My attitude's not different.
Yeah, let's go over here and let's listen to it.
Why, to be here, you have to have solicitation.
We're not soliciting.
Well, let's listen to what she's saying, okay?
I don't.
And you can record it so you can
That's right. I will. And we'll make sure that the attorney gets it, okay?
So, all the people that's everybody understand that we're all on the same page.
didn't say I wasn't a part. I just said we're out here in partnership.
You're with them.
Yeah, but there's no leader over us.
Okay. So do I need to explain the policy to you?
No, I've gotten enough on here. You know, we believe that, you know, the Supreme Court has affirmed we have a right to distribute religious literature, you know, on any type of public property or thoroughfare, and this is a public university.
I don't argue with you.
And we're not required, according to United States law, to get a permit. So I'll have to just disagree with you. I've heard your explanation. I'll make sure my attorney hears it, and we'll go from there.
I understand. If you would like our attorney's contact
Don't need that right
information,
now.
Just give it to me, because this is actually not public property.
Well, this is a public library right here. And
If you want to argue,
is the general public welcome on the campus, I guess is the question.
No, it's not.
So this is not a public library.
This is a public library, but not on the campus. There's a line. This line. This.
Okay, so I'm just asking a question.
If you will get our student handbook, there's a place in it called Access to Campus, and it explains to you that our campus, this is not public property. It's not open to the public. It's open to guests, visitors, and invitees. And you have to be invited.
Right. Is this a public library? It says it in there. It says this is the general public's computer lab and this, that, and yeah.
You can come in, a guest, visitor, or invitee. But in order to use our area, in order to use the university and the campus proper, you have to have, in order to pass out literature and things like that, you have to follow our policy.
Is there not an event tomorrow in which the general public has been invited to dialogue with a former senator from Florida about issues related to the Constitution? It's on your website. General public are invited.
I'm sure.
We believe that the Constitution and that issue is something that needs the foundation of God's truth, and that this is the time to be proclaiming that. So your website's inviting the general public to the campus. That occurs. This whole week is Congress week.
Okay.
Tomorrow's the culmination of it. The event's not till tomorrow, but this whole week is about dialogue.
The public's not invited.
Well,
tomorrow,
go look
right?
at the website and make that determination.
You just told me it didn't happen till tomorrow.
And like I said, you're welcome to pass out.
And we'll be here tomorrow.
We just
sure.
need you to follow our policy. That's all. You're welcome to pass out literature. We just need you to follow.
Well, then we would just expect that we would be issued a permit just like anyone else, even though the message is detestable to people that
It's not detestable.
believe everybody else has freedom, but not a Christian.
But it's not, and we're happy.
And we've seen that before, so
Permission, as long as you follow our policy. It's not
I understand that. But there's a line. We just want to make sure that it's understood that on public property, and
absolutely.
you know, that's why I'm asking. Is this open to the general public? Does the general public normally come on the campus? These are things we're trying to get an answer to.
Absolutely, and you can use our public sidewalks. You can use the public sidewalk. Just don't.
I mean, we're happy to step over a line, but if I'm walking through campus to get to a car and I begin to have a conversation with somebody about the things of the Lord, I don't need a permit to hand them a gospel tract.
Well, a conversation is totally different than providing information.
But we're not soliciting. Please understand, we're not soliciting. So it wouldn't fall into that category.
Well, but we call solicitation, it's a broad category.
Yeah, but it's got to fit a definition
distribution.
acceptable in English language.
It does. Literature distribution, event requests, and solicitation all belong under that, okay? And if you look at Hill Topics, our student handbook, that can give you some information.
Well, thank you so much. We sure appreciate it. So, do you understand what she's saying?